I hope you are doing well on this wonderful Monday morning. It is a weird day in Maine. It's been really rainy. Then the sun came out shining brightly and looked like a beautiful fall day. And then now it's raining again. So I have the beautiful Emery Casey here with me, and we are ready to craft. I don't know if you are or not. Today, I have to mention at Altenew is an amazing day, as it has been for like the past week. They have had super amazing sales. And today is no different. Today is Cyber Monday. So lots of wonderful sales. So a good day to share so you can get entered into win a gift certificate because there's awesome sales. I want to pick a favorite that's on sale, but I really can't. I will mention a lot of the sprays are on. So check those out. I mean, everything I looked at today was on sale. Everything on my list was on sale. And I picked a set today that is extremely near and dear to my heart. It's in honor of one of our teammates at Altenew named Aurum. If you used to take the classes on Tuesday and Thursday, you would remember Aurum. She was an amazing human being and crafter. So I chose a special place in my heart today, and she liked blue. So I picked blue to make a card in honor of Aurum today, since this is her set. I also have a couple other sets I want to show you. So let's move down so we can get to the workspace, because we want the crafty. We want the crafty. Okay. So I want to mention a few sets that, as I was, I don't want to say stalking the website, but stalking the website, I saw they have Billowing Peonies is on sale. On sale. Isn't that crazy? I'm going to be using this New Year's Eve. If any of you come to my Saturday class, this is a good time to get this, the Stamp, Stencil, and Die. It's the anniversary set from 2023. It is huge. It is huge. And the stamp is gorgeously huge too. So absolutely gorgeous set. If you haven't seen this, check it out. It's on sale. And then the one from last year, so 2022, is also on sale. And this is the Bountiful Bouquet. I always want to call it Beautiful Bouquet. Bountiful Bouquet. Lots of layering in there. Great to play with your stamp wheel. And you can see an image. Again, a large image. So check these out. These are two of my other favorites that I wanted to share with you today. I wanted to also share with you, I went ahead, so this does have a hot foil plate, but I didn't want to waste our time hot foiling while we were talking. So I went ahead and I foiled this. So this is in black. I used some Spellbinders black because we don't have a black foil. So I wanted to do this. This, I think, would be a beautiful sympathy card. I'm going to show you how there. And then again, I got a little overfoiling, which I can take care of, but I think this on its own is so pretty as well. It's just rainbow foil. And look how quick you have 2 cards all done. This one, we're going to go ahead and we're going to ink blend on it. My goal is to get 1 card stamped and 1 card blended, and then these 2 quickly made into cards because they're so quick and simple because they're just foiled. So let's actually we'll get these 2 out of the way. That way we can say we got 2 cards. I'm also going to be using today, I said I was using blues. I'm using Blue Mountain. So absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous set. Again, it was Aurum's favorite color, so I thought I would pull that in today as well. So we've got this at 5.5, and then 4 1/4 is going to take off a good portion of the card, the floral. So what you can do, so I'm going to do it with one direction. I don't want to take it off too much. I'll just trim a scotch off here. A scotch is a little, I'm sorry. I have my own, as my dear friends say, I have my own kind of language. Now, I think it would be pretty as well if you went down to, say, 4 and then mounted that 4 by 5 1/4 and mounted that onto a panel. I think that would be absolutely gorgeous as well. I believe we have hand behind the badge today, but again, it's always 50-50, and sometimes I'm very incorrect. So, but I think we have hand behind the badge today. Usually Mondays, my friends, we have hand. And then usually on Thursdays, we have angel. So usually, I'm going to say usually, because I get it wrong sometimes. Sometimes they do a little switcheroo. Okay. Now, the other thing you could do is you could center this on a panel, okay? And you could have half and half because it's such a large image. So you could go ahead and do that and have half and half on there. Now, I happen to have some Altenew does some, yay, it's Han. I guessed right. Hello, my lovely. I love both. I love them both. They're amazing. So I've got my Altenew card bases. You can just get some card bases. I love these on my lazy crafting days. When I'm like, card base, I don't think so. Like Altenew to the rescue again, because I'm all good. I got my bone folder here. So I'm just going to make that a nice crease. I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to use my tape runner. I do normally, since we're live and it's timed, I'm using the tape runner. I normally, because I'm paranoid about things, I love the ultra sticky tape. I like have a serious passion. Oh, and I'm out of that. I have a serious passion. I have lots of refills. Don't worry. I'm paranoid about running out of things. So I always have lots and lots of refills. All right. So we're going to put that on there. So look, I mean, you have a card and it basically is just the time that it takes you to foil. And what you can do to avoid that time, all you have to do is foil a bunch. It took me maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes today to foil. So, oh my gosh, I'm out of tape runner over here. So we will bring out the ultra sticky. Ultra sticky. All right. And where I overfoiled there, you can use those sand erasers. You can also put a sequence or an enamel dot there. Lots of options for what you can do if you have overfoiling. I probably wouldn't put my sentiment in that specific location, but if it overfoiled in a lower place, I would definitely think of just popping a sentiment down there. And then I know a lot of folks nowadays like to wait and leave their sentiments till they use their card. So that's another option as well. We're going to go ahead and get this taken off. I'm surprised Emery is not here to help. This is one of her favorite things. She gets to have the tape backers. Hello, Jane. Hello, hello. So good to see you today. Okay, make sure your card's going in the right direction. And I cut this one kind of backwards, but that's okay. We can have cards coming in from the left. I mean, from the right. Doesn't always have to be from the left. So that's okay. And I have a sentiment from something that I had stamped that's just for you. So you could do that. This as well. I think that's really pretty. So then you can take your, let's get the puppy pad out here. Got to have the puppy pad. We're going to splatter. So you can take your jet black, okay? And I really tap it off before I start coming near my card. I try to come a good distance away. So if you don't splatter, and I got big splatters, that's okay. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. So I'm going to really splatter that. Okay, so look how quick and easy you've just foiled and you've added some black splatter. Pop on your sentiment. And I think you could do this for a beautiful sympathy card as well. I played with a set over the weekend. I don't know if it's still available. Heartfelt sentiments, and it has with deepest sympathy. You could put that on there. So many options for sentiments, but a quick and easy, especially if you have the A2 card bases from Altenew, super quick and easy card to create. So there's a couple ideas with just either colored or solid colored foil, the black or the rainbow. So up here, like I said, if you have an eraser, sometimes I just take my Altenew eraser and that will do it as well. See, it's lightening it up. But I can also stick an enamel dot there. And actually I think I could put my sentiment up there. I probably wouldn't use something black and white. It's just what I happen to have already stamped. I think some gold would be pretty. This is from one of our sets. So I think the gold would be pretty, but you know, and this is here. So it depends on the contrast that you like on your projects. Yes, it's still in stock. I love that stamp set. It has, so now that it's in stock, it has something for everything and it's all different fonts. So missing you, love you, just because, grateful, thank you, in my thoughts. I miss you, warm wishes, prayers, and hugs. And then the ones we hate to make with deepest sympathy, fast recovery, those types of things. So sorry for your loss. So everything that you could imagine to say is in one stamp set, which it's, like when selling a house, location, location, location. It's good to have it all in one place. Okay, so a couple of options for these. So let's go ahead and let's start stenciling or ink blending our stencil. Okay. It's just such a beautiful set. And it has a lovely, lovely purpose behind it as well. Okay. So we have in here, we have 4 stencils and they're simple coloring. And going through it, you're going to create this floral here. That shows you there. I do recommend that you keep your image in the direction of the layering guide. Okay. So mine, I did it this way because it to fit in my machine. But now I'm going to look at this and I'm going to turn it in this direction because that's going to help you when it comes time for you to stencil. Okay. And then we're going to get our satin masking tape, which I think is like $6. $6 for this? Holy Toledo. What a deal. Okay. So I just put it on my hand so it's not as sticky as it wants to be. Okay. We can go in before I put it down there. And that side doesn't matter. All right. So the first one we are going to get on here. Okay. And then we'll use some more. Yeah, it really helps, Sue, because, if you're trying to figure out the layering and you're looking at it one way and they're showing another way, it's hard as you go through. It's easier this way because you know the orientation and you know what way things are going. So it's a lot easier to do this way. Just looking for my Blue Mountains large blending tool. So we're gonna do typical. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do the flower in blue and the leaves in green. And I'm just gonna wiggle that up. I don't want to get anything on there. I have a huge desk, but it always seems to be encroaching on me. So, oh goodness, you guys know that, right? With the space, it just kind of all fills up on you. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, get this. And since it's Cyber Monday, I wore my dinosaur jammies to celebrate. I was so excited to spend Cyber Monday with you guys. How cool is that? How cool. Oh my gosh, look at this. And this is like, my friends and I were talking yesterday. This is almost like heat embossing, the magic of these stencils. My friend was using the billowing peonies. And just as she was going through, she's like, okay, I think I'm addicted to stenciling now. I think I'm there. Like it's, so super excited. Oh, I got to pull out a green. And then another tip is, so in places where there's a lot of foil, or you can go over the whole thing, make sure you have a clean, dry cloth, just because that color is going to sit on top of the embossing, like heat embossing. It's going to sit on top of it. So you want to make sure that there's no free-flowing ink as you move through the stencils, because you'll carry that ink with you. Now here, it's got the little bumps of the flower center. That's what I'm going to go for. Okay, and then if I get stuck, I can always go back because we're in the same orientation. And then once I have one thing into place, it usually slides in the rest into place for me as well. All right. So I think we're going to continue. I thought I'd be using my minis today. I got them out. Maybe when we get to the next section, but this one, we're going to continue on with our Blue Mountains large blending tool here. That's what I treated myself to over this celebration that we had. Basically, lots of amazing sales. I bought some blending brushes so I can have them for each family. So, because I use them a lot. And I use them more now that I have a family and I don't have to worry about contamination. My desk isn't organized, but I like my supplies to be. And as you see, I have labels on there. So I got the labels for this set, which is I think it's the Trailblazing. And it also has the Woodland Forest in here as well. We're not using that one today. I thought about that. I thought about making the flower brown and having green leaves. But then I thought of beautiful Orem space and wanted to do blue. So, all right. So here we go. So we're getting this. I do, Tracy. Yes, I do. Tracy knew about my endeavor to have a blending brush for each color. It makes me happy. Again, I'm looking at the bumps, okay? So if I get my bumps lined up, then I can kind of wiggle, see, like down here, then I can wiggle into space. But once you start with one thing, pick one thing and get that aligned, and then the rest is gonna go right into place for you. And if it doesn't, take a deep breath, walk away for a minute and come back, and usually it'll line up perfectly. I know sometimes I'm like everybody, I sit there and fight with it, and I shouldn't. I should walk away so my eye comes back fresh, ready to go, and I don't. So I should. So I'm giving you advice that I don't take myself. So now we're at Crystal Violet. Okay. Now I'm going to switch to these are my faves. These are absolutely my favorite of I like them all. Love them all, actually. Love them all. Obviously, I just bought a lot of them, so I love them all. But this is my most used. This is my go-to fella. And the good thing is, too, is if you're a member of our Build-A-Garden, you get one of these each month for free in your kit. So if you are a Build-A-Garden subscriber, you get 12 free mini blending tools a year. How cool is that? That's pretty cool. All right. Here we go. And again, you can go as dark or as light. And just because this is considered, just let me double check. This is considered a simple coloring stencil. You can add additional layers. Like I could go in if I wanted to right here, and I could add and make it really dark in that section. Or I could come over here and make it really dark in that section. You can still do that with these. You don't have to use it as a simple coloring. You can add more layers if you want to. But it's also fun sometimes just to go through, and they've really added the layers on this one. So it's not one you really need to do that, but there are some. I just want you to keep that in mind for your simple coloring stencils. You can always layer in more color as well. All right, and I forgot to grab a green. So, oh, I know I didn't. You guys, I'm a silly. All right, so now we've got the spiky little bit here. Okay, we get that round thing that's going to help us cover that up. And it does show us to stencil this first. Okay, so I'm going to go and see it's lining up. I got my little bit in there, and then I can negotiate the rest of it around until it looks lined up. Okay, and that looks lined up to me. Hopefully I'm correct. Sometimes I'm not. Some days my eye's like, oh yeah, that's lined up. I look at it again and I'm like, yeah, that's so not lined up. Does that happen to you guys? No, this is not the Billowing Peony. This is Golden Days. This is Golden Days. It has a stamp set, a die set, a stencil, and then it has the hot foil plate. And then it also has a stencil, mask stencil for the stamp set. So the Billowing Peony, I just had it. The Billowing Peony, this is the Billowing Peony, but it is on sale, and I did mention it because it's on sale, and it's beautiful and ginormous and wonderful. Some of the families are moving over into the fresh dye inks. So at this point, there's only one I know of that's not moving over, and that was the 4 scoops. Will not be moving over to the fresh dye inks, but as far as I know at this moment, they're going to be available. Yep, in the fresh dye inks. So, and we still have we have the crisp dye ink still available, some of them, And we have some of the reinkers available too. I don't know exactly which ones at the moment because I haven't looked, but just from browsing the website. Now I have to be careful because I've been chatting and crafting, and so I haven't been wiping this off. Okay. So I'm going to be very careful when I place this. I'm not going to wiggle it around. I'm going to try to get it so that it is in place and ready to go. Trying to look to see because I want that there. I think, yeah, we look about right there. They're just little tiny itty bitty pieces in there. So I'm not overly worried. I'm trying to get it the best I can. Okay, hold on. I had it, then I moved. That's okay. This is one of those that as long as you get some color in there, I think you're okay. It's not the preciseness, so to speak. There we go. All right. I keep going to push it down and then I move it. So does that happen to you guys? You guys go ahead and you're trying to get it in there perfectly and you're trying not to move it and then you flinch. Okay. I could have used a darker color. Let's take a peekaroo. We'll go a little darker. Let's go jade. Let's go jade for this. I did the silver sage, which I love that name. I love the name. Love the color. I'm so glad I pulled these out too. They're so pretty. So beautiful. Okay. So here we go. And then if you're not a fussy cutter, we've talked about this. I call it cranky cutting because I get cranky. If you are a cranky cutter too, what you can do is you can line back up your hot foil plate. Trying to see, where's my point? Is that the point? There are 2 points together. Is that it? There we go. So you lock it back in, okay? And you can feel it because it indents into the paper. And then you come in with a pencil or a pen, whatever you have handy. So if you're not a fussy cutter, which I'm not, I don't trust my fussy cutting skills. I need to do it more. I know I do listen when Lydia says that. I just don't. I've gotten a lot of wonderful tips about fussy cutting from Lydia. I don't do them. So, and have a pair of scissors that you're really comfortable with too. So then, see, you have it all outlined. So you have a nice border around there like it was a die cut. Okay. So then you just come in and you follow along your line. And if you leave any of the pencil, don't worry about it. You can go back in after and you can just erase. So that's a good thing about doing pencil as opposed to like I could have grabbed an artist marker or the our fine tip liner pens, but fine liner pens, that would have been a color or black. So if I miscut, so to speak, it's not as easy to fix as with a pencil. Pencil's really easy to fix, as you can see here. And Ultimate has that nice retractable eraser that stays right next to me. It's I call it the right-hand man drawer, which I have all my adhesive and all that stuff in. Doesn't leave me. All right, so then we curve around. Hopefully I'm not boring you with fussy cutting, but I did want to show you this trick because I know a lot of us struggle with a good fussy cutting session. So, and I don't like to have a lot of paper extra. I like to just be close to I don't know if that's recommended or not, but I think with fussy cutting, I think it's whatever makes you feel more comfortable. I think, if I remember correctly, Lydia said keep your scissors like at an angle. You hold the paper still, you move your scissors, or you move your paper and scissors. I can't remember. That's probably why I don't do it often. Okay. But definitely Lydia has amazing tips on fussy cutting. She is like my fussy cutting guru. And she also invented the word lagoony. So if anybody wonders where that's it's kind of picking up around the crafting community. I've noticed other people calling it lagoony as well. It's funny how you hear the name once and it kind of sticks with you. All right. Okay. I know, I'm cranky cutting. I know, it's like mark the day on the calendar because it just doesn't happen. Just doesn't happen. But I like to show tips, like, so if you aren't a fussy cutter, if it's something you struggle with as well, that we all need to practice. If you're on the struggle bus with fussy cutting with me, we need to practice. And B, to give you little tips and tricks of how you can avoid it. So see, I have a little pencil right there. I could go back with my scissors, or I can just come in with my eraser and erase it and it's gone. And then I have my beautiful image to put on my card. And so this image total across is, basically a landscape card and it hangs off. Okay, so it's going to be 5.5 across, and it is, let me line it up down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.25 tall. So it would be a good square card project as well. Okay, let's stamp some stuff. Let's stamp some stuff. What do we say? To stamping some stuff, everybody. Are we excited? I know that's pretty generic, but it's going to be golden days. So, all right, so we'll make this into a card. I have 2 card bases ready to go. I think we'll do a 1-layer card. So we'll move our blending brush, we'll move our eraser, our pencil, our scissors. Okay, we got to refill after this. I got to refill. Seriously, I am completely out of my glue tape pen at my station. So luckily I have a big bin full of it because that's my worst nightmare, is running out of glue tape. Glue tape and foam tape, those two both equally are probably the worst nightmare. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put it, you can also, I love to use these. These are the alignment guides that you can get for the stamp wheel. You just place it in the corner like this so that the writing is up and the insignia is over here, correct, like right side up. This will give you a portrait card. If you want landscape, you simply take it and you put it in this corner. Okay, so you take this point and put it in this corner over here. So I always do portrait now. I trying to think. I think I've always done a lot of portrait. That's just kind of my jam. All right, so let's go ahead. Ooh, pulling the thing off here. All right. Ooh. All right. So we're going to go ahead. So this is the small version of the flower. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it about here because I want to put some leaves, I think, if time allows me. If I can only get 1 leaf on, that's okay too. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get out our obsidian pigment ink. And plus it may have cat fur as well. That's okay. Aurum loved cats, so I think she would be okay with it. All right. So we have that. Beautiful. I think I'm going to stamp it one more time. I think I need to, this weekend I found out while I was teaching, I needed to re-ink my embossing pad. And I think I need to re-ink my obsidian pigment ink. So, but the good thing is I can tell you I saw that was on sale too. Everything I saw was on sale today. How exciting. Hello, Joni. Okay. So then let's see. I think we want to go, this is B1 and then we have C1. Okay, let's see if we can sneak these in. Because our mask stencil, oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so the mask stencil is great because I can cover up my flower. Okay, you also have openings that you can blend color through, but I want to use this at the moment to cover up my flower. And of course, there's cat fur everywhere. There's 2 like points there, so I think that's where it goes. Now, what I'm going to do is I want to see the black line where I'm going to be stamping. Okay. So first I'm going to stamp down here because I want it to go together. If you put it right next to the line, it's right so you don't see the black line, it's not going to meet and you're going to notice it. All right, I'm trying to see. I think we'll go right there. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and take the obsidian off our flip plate. I definitely need like 800 flip plates. I need lots of flip plates. Oh, I'm awful about cleaning my stamps, so I just basically throw them in a pile. But if I had a flip plate, I could just leave them on there and move to a new flip plate. You see my theory? And I don't know if, let me see, would that work? Well, it would tuck out a little bit, but it wouldn't do it perfectly. So we'll go ahead and we will now come down. Now be careful because your obsidian is wet, okay? There's none here, which is what I was concerned about. I just want to make sure that was dry. Now we're going to shift this. Okay, we're just going to shift down because we want to see that black line. We don't want to see the white necessarily, but we want to see that black line there. Okay, and then we're just going to put this right there. And then pop that in there. It's wonderful when they have, I love the mask stencils because you can do the flowers, like you can do some of the layers, basically the base layer, you can do it without stamping. And sometimes I love to do that. It's such a soft and beautiful effect. But today I'm outside my box here. I'm fussy cutting. I'm stamping dark outlines. Holy Toledo. I know, autocorrect. I've been using talk to text, and let me tell you, I don't know if it's not listening to me, if it's just ignoring me and doing what it wants to do or what's going on. But okay, so this we're going to need again because we're going to do all those layers, okay? So grab your cloth and just wipe that off. Make sure that's wiped off. Okay. Ooh, got a piece of fur. All right, and I'm just going to set this down there for a second. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start building our layers. Okay, of our flower. So again, I'm looking for points that look familiar. You can do match up with the layering guide. I am winging it at this point. So that looked familiar down at the bottom, but apparently no. So I should be, there we go. I'm looking at the center now. There we go. Maybe not. There's the center. Come on. Come on. Okay, maybe we're looking at the layering guide. On the side. Okay, so what you can do, if you already have it in your stamp wheel, just turn your stamp wheel. Okay, so now if I put this back on here, okay, in the way that it's supposed to go, so that my centers are right there. Whoops. You can bring it over. So you want it basically to match. Okay, and so mine is right there. So it's right there. So when you bring it over, then you should be able to line it up by going right there, and it's not lining up for me. Oh, goodness. Thought that was the one I was supposed to line up with. And that's the center. That's my center. Where we're going? That's where we're going. There we go. Sometimes, like I said, it just takes a second. Like you're looking at it and you're like, I know you go there. I know you fit right there. And then you look at it and it's like, oh, how do I get it to fit there? So that's the other great thing about the stamp wheel is that you don't have to move anything. You just rotate your stamp wheel an area and you can move it into position. All right, I'm going to use my stamp conditioning eraser. If you haven't had these are amazing. They basically take that layer of photopolymer that's left over after the manufacturing. And you know what? Let's do this. Let's go. We'll do a green flower and blue leaves. And that I use it to also, even if I have stamped with it I will also use it sometimes after because it gets like embossing powder and stuff like that off as well. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so pretty. It already comes, it's so amazing, these layers, how quickly they come together and how beautifully. All right, so again, I'm gonna just take it off and then I'm gonna look with my flower center and then just wiggle, okay? Just wiggle, there we go. So don't give up. It's worth it if it takes you a hot second to line it up, as I say. And sometimes it takes a hot second, but that's okay. Crafting is relaxing. So the thing is, if it takes us a hot second, it means we get to craft longer. I mean, I think that's terrific. All right, so then we will go with so A1, A2, A3, A4. So let's skip. Let's go to eucalyptus because I want to get that forest fern on there. That's such a beautiful. I know a lot of folks, eucalyptus is the favorite, but that forest fern is so gorgeous as well. Look at that. Look as it's coming together. It just, oh, so amazing. Okay. It could have been Bentley at the keyboard too, Joni. Bentley was trying to talk to us all. Oh, I think he'd be all paws if he was trying to join us. He might like to craft though. All right, there we go. And if you just hold it up over the black lines, that helps as well to get you right in there. Put it off center. I do that. I'll put it off center and then I'm like, okay, yep, I see that line right there. I see what's supposed to be lined up and then you're good to go. Okay. So now we're going to do the beautiful forest fern. I'm so excited. All right. And I keep putting the hole either at 6 o'clock or at midnight. Okay. When I'm doing this. Oh, don't want to forget this. I always forget it. Not always. I do it. I feel like I always forget it. I forget it at crucial times. Let's say that. Times that it's like I'm just crafting. It's like, it's fine. When I'm teaching and I forget it, it's like, oh goodness. I think this is going to be pretty because we skipped. Oh, look at that. Oh, I got a smudge and I was a little crooked. But that's okay. That's where the sentiment goes. All right. So we've got that. So now we're going to cover that up. Okay. Now I rotated so my little puffy line is right there. There we go. Okay. So again, I'm going to push it back so that black line's kind of hanging out there. Okay, and then I'll put my tape on just to hold it into place. And we'll work on these bottom leaves first. Probably should keep it so that it's down like this. Then we're just going to line them up. Take a second to get them perfectly aligned there. Looking at the right there. It looks like right there. Okay, that looks good. And put my little hole so I know which way is up. And sometimes it pulls that up. That's okay. Just put it right, pop it right back down. And then again, you want that black line showing. You don't really want the green or the white showing. You would just want that black line. Okay, and we're definitely going to treat this because this is a lot of photopolymer. We want to make sure we get it nice and ready to receive that ink. And this one has 4 layers. So we will do all 4 colors. I know it comes, it's as it builds, like you're just so excited. And then give a little extra push where that stencil is, because you have like a bump, like a speed bump. Okay. So you got to get up over the speed bump, so to speak. That's where you got to put your muscle into it. Your muscles. All right. So we have B1, B2, Oh, actually, we have 3 layers. Ah, silly girl. Okay. So now we're going to wipe this off. And what I like to do is lift it up. Okay. Don't wipe this onto your project. Just lift it up, pop the top there. There you go. Then you're good to go. Okay. So what we'll do is I saw 4 layers and got excited. What we will do is we'll do the same thing we did on the flower. We're going to skip. We're going to skip the next layer. Okay. We look lined up there. We're going to skip the alpine aster. All right, and then just make sure, because it moved, that it's still lined up, which it is. And we're going to go for the crystal violet. Oh, and use our stamp conditioning eraser. These are fabulous. And if you don't have a cat that likes to chew them into pieces, she doesn't swallow them. She just likes to bite them till they break. They'll last you forever. I have little nubs. I have one good one that I've kept in my drawer away from her. All right. And again, I'm pushing firmly. See where that stencil is? You can see it. Ooh, look at that. Okay. So then we're going to pick that up before we forget, because that's ink is ready to go. That ink is ready to go onto your project in a place you don't want it. There we go. And then we'll peel that off and we'll do our final stamp for this leaf cluster. And that is the Indigo Skies, which is just, oh my gosh. I love all the colors. I really do. When somebody asks my favorite color now, I just say rainbow because I love them all. I don't want to have to pick. I mean, I know I always say that Rock Collection is my husband of all it's new, and it is. Rock Collection will always have my heart. No matter how many colors come out, Rock Collection just, love it. But I do love all the colors. And it's fun to mix and match them in different color combinations when you're stamping or you're blending. It's just fun. So there we go. So now we're going to lift the mask off this time because we're going to move it. Okay. Because we got to do our other leaf cluster. All right. Look how pretty. And I'm just going to put my sentiment right there where I got a little extra ink. Nobody will know because I know you guys won't tell. Oh, you ordered a stamp wheel. Yes. Yay. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for you. I can't wait till you get to use it. It is a game changer. It really is a game changer. All right. Especially if you're like mass producing cards or, I mean, it's just like this. It's nice because you can take your time, line it up. It's not like the old days with the stamp wheel where the stamp blocks where you took a deep breath and you hoped for the best. You know, I think we've all been there, you know, where you think you're lined up, you know, or you had to use a bunch of tools to make sure you were lined up. This is just, it makes crafting more fun, I think. You know, it's just fabulous. Okay, so again, that happens, no big deal. But just remember when you put it down, which section you want to see that black ink on, okay? And again, because we saw how much photopolymer it pulled our mask up, so we're going to go ahead and this only has 2 layers. So let's do the Alpine Aster and Indigo Skies. So we'll do it a little differently. Okay. And also, if you don't have a lot of inks, you can double, triple, quadruple stamp some of these colors to get different colors that match your project. You can also do that. So see, again, I've got that on there. So I want to keep that. Oh, you got yours too. Oh, I'm so excited for you guys. Oh, that's so wonderful. You guys are going to love it. You're going to wonder how you crafted without it. It's just amazing. And don't forget, if some of you don't know, we have that amazing class with the phenomenal Simon Hurley coming up very soon, December 8th, 9th, and 10th. So that's very exciting as well. All right, just trying to get the little button at the top there lined up, and then this kind of corner. I think it is. I have a glare in a weird area, so I think it's lined up. We'll see. Now, you could also, if you're doing this and you're, for whatever reason, you're having the same thing I am, where I can't see it very well because of all the lights. If you have that, stamp on a transparency, or if you don't have a transparency, stamp on vellum. And then also, if you get extra ink on there and you're nervous about it, you can just wipe it off. Sometimes that happened to me on my flower. It transferred, so I'm a little nervous, but that's okay. I'm just going to wipe it off there. Okay, and then I'm just going to push where there's ink, because I can always go back and stamp if I need to, but I don't want to push too hard and get ink in areas that I don't want it. But I do want it right there. I want it right there. There we go. That is perfect. Perfect. Our customer service and our shipping, I call them shipping angels because they're just amazing. Our shipping folks are phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. They're just amazing. They're just amazing. No other words. Customer service and the warehouse, just amazing. All right, we're going to go ahead and we are going to stamp in the flower centers. So we have A5, A6, and A7. So we're going to go in. And the flower centers, I don't worry about too much. Kind of how we talked about a minute ago. And I'm just going to take a block. I'm just going to take a block and I'm going to go in and stamp those. I'll pull summer afternoon real quick. I'm always fighting the clock. In. Oh, goodness. Okay, so we have summer afternoon. We will use buttercream for our first layer. And I do hand stamp in my stamp wheel. It might seem silly because you're like, but you have your flip plate. But sometimes it's like the olden days. It's just as fast to take a block, and especially with flower centers. I mean, my feeling is you can't go wrong with these. I used to stress out about it. Like, I seriously used to stress out about it. And then Lydia's like, you can't really, sometimes you don't even know like what was supposed to be stamped where. She's like, don't stress out about it. It's okay. Just have fun. And I was like, okay. All right. I can just have fun. I can do that. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to stamp it and just add some depth and dimension in there, and with flower centers, is it maybe where it was supposed to go? Maybe not. I know. And I remembered, this is a special day, folks. I always forget to stamp my flower centers and I never, ever fussy cut. So it's because I love you all. So I'm bringing out all the fun. I got the Dino Jammies. We are celebrating Black Friday with awesome sales. So it's just a day to celebrate, right? All right. So there, we have our card, and we also have lots of wonderful sentiments. This one, I'm just going to do a little strip, I think, and put it over my little boo-boo. I feel like, what was that? Yogi. It was Yogi with the boo-boo. Boo-boo. I think it was Yogi, right? I can't remember. It's been a while. I'll remember again when I become a grandmother in a few years. But for right now, I'm good. All right. And again, this is just a little itty bitty sentiment. So I'm just going to kind of use my little crafter's alignment mat here to put it there. And I just learned a tip. If it's sticking, wet your fingers and then it stops sticking to you. So I'm going to just pick it up. It moved a little bit, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to stamp it. Now, the thing to remember, though, and then I use my crafter's alignment mat again when I line up my paper, because I have lines on my block. So I can just make sure that everybody is lined up. I just have to be careful when I cut it. If I don't, I pushed too hard. See, that's the thing with the block. You can push too hard. Pushed a little too hard. I have to be careful, and I have cat hair on it. How I get cat hair on it that quickly? I have to be careful when I trim this, okay? Because my obsidian is still drying, so I want to be very careful when I'm doing this to try not to touch the sentiment area as little as possible. So I'm going to put it here. So I think my paper is crooked, but that will be good. Then I'm just going to go ahead. Or you could use, you don't have to use this sentiment if you don't need a be kind sentiment. I am breaking all the Bridget Casey norms. I'm breaking them here. We got fussy cutting going on. I'm remembering flower centers. I think it's just being with you guys. You guys are very inspiring. And it's so much fun to be able to, it's such an honor and a privilege to be able to spend this time with you each week. So for this, you could leave it as this panel. I think what I want to do is I want to trim it down so that it is 4 by 5 1/4. I've been doing this a lot lately. I've just been, I guess, in a 4 by 5 1/4 kind of mood. Okay, and that I'm just going to take down there. These would have been great too for sentiment strips, so maybe do your sentiment strips first. Okay, and then this, what I'm going to do, all right, it's 423. It's 423. Okay, this, what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and we have that. I could actually use, you could actually use a card base if you wanted to. I'm just going to use a panel for the moment. I'm just looking for a piece of something to, oh, these are some envelopes I got from someone that weren't my kind of envelopes. So let's do I think they're crystal violet. Is that what we think? Ooh, let's see. I think the crystal violet, or maybe that's too dark. Okay, let's do indigo skies. Let's do indigo skies. Being indecisive, Han. There's too many pretty colors, Han. Now, I don't need to do the whole panel, okay, because the only thing that's going to show are the sides, like 1/4 inch of the sides. I just can't help myself. And if you hear a large crash, it's because somebody is being very naughty right now, and they are walking on my desk literally like a catwalk. And she's a cat, so it's kind of funny. As long as she doesn't drop anything and make a loud noise. It's funny. The cat is doing the catwalk. On the catwalk. All right. She shakes her fluffy tail on the catwalk. She does. She has a very floofy tail. I call her Floofinutter. So in New England, we have something called Fluffinutter sandwiches. And it's a marshmallow. Now, it's not marshmallow fluff that you get in the lower other states. This is totally different. It's called marshmallow fluff, but it's different. It's very different. So yeah, I call her Fluffinutter. All right, as a nickname, which is longer than her name. So I don't know why we have nicknames that are longer than names. But since we've addressed fussy cutting and everything else today, that's probably for another day. All right, so I'm going to put this here. And I just realized I'll have to use my card base because we didn't put our other project on either. Our big, beautiful blended floral. All right. And I'm going to be restrained here with the foam tape. I got 5 minutes. I could set a panel in 5 minutes. We could probably even stamp a sentiment. Or we could use one of the ones I have stamped too. All right, roll that there. Set that there because I'll probably use that. Now this is wet, so because I just ink blended. So depending on how much ink you put on there, just keep in mind that it is wet. Oh, I thought that was one. It was two. All right. So just make sure, if you're looking for a deal, make sure to head on over to Altenew today because it is like deal central. Everything. It feels like everything's on sale. So it's an amazing sale. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead. Now you could add some splatter too. If I was going to add splatter to this, I probably would splatter one of the colors I used. Just put it on a stamp block, add a little water, and then splatter. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put my sentiment there and my boo-boo is gone. So Boo Boo gone. Okay. And then look at the beautiful, the ink matches that perfectly. Oh, I'll have to teach you what a fluffernutter is. Oh, Sue knows. And Tracy, because, yep, she was up in our area. I'll have to teach you what a fluffernutter is. Yep. It's funny how different states are known for like different things, or different regions of the US are known for different things. It's funny how that goes. All right. So now we will use another of these fabulous. I've got to order more of these. I love these. I have lazy craft days, and I'm like, oh, I could make a bunch of card bases, but I don't know if I want to. So I think I'm going to put that there. But what you could do as well. All right, let's do it. We're close to time, but I think Han will indulge me if I go a minute over. Han's usually good. All right, let's use this. And I've just got it folded over, so hopefully I don't go too wild here. Okay, I don't want it to go on the back side of my card, but we're going to do this as well. So this one, though, you kind of got to cover more than that 1/4 inch. And what you could do, okay, and what we could do, now you can do this with one color, or you could do this with all 4 colors. You can bring it so it's heavier at the top and let it kind of blend out. I'm just going to go on my work surface and not worry about it. If you just clean it up after, just with water, it'll come right off. It's no biggie. I promise you. It cleans up beautifully. All right. So then we're just going to kind of have that be the darkest side. And I think it also would be pretty if you used some of our gilded gold cardstock. I think that would be really pretty. Okay. And then this ink will dry as well. I get a really pretty look. But see the difference if you have it on that, like that ombre green, versus on, let me move that. So if you have it on the ombre green, look how pretty that is. Or if you have it on just the plain white. So I think the plain white is really a classic look that you're going to get with that. But I think, and I can see where the flower center is here, because I just want to put, I don't want to put foam tape all over the place, because I am going to have to trim some of it off. Okay. But I can get it pretty close to the edges, because I know like it's going to hang here or here. So I don't really have to worry so much about the inner pieces. And then just so I use it up, I'm going to put that there. Okay. And then we will pull this. Okay. And then have your base, and it may be getting ink. Nope, luckily not getting ink on the back. Let me just put this down so that I don't smear ink all over the back of the card, because once I mount this, I don't want to lose it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick right there. Okay. And then I'm going to go back to my miraculous drawer. Okay. And then we'll put that. Oh, looking for the foam tape. I'm at least keeping that real. I may have changed on some things, but I still get lost a little bit here. So I'm keeping that part real. Oh, goodness gracious, you guys. I'm just too excited about the sale and crafting. There's so much excitement going on. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. All right. So then you can pop that. Now you could put it so it's up on the flower, like up in here, because over here you can't really fit it, and then it's kind of, you're trapping a piece of the flower. So I would rather have it up here. You could put it up here, because that piece of flower doesn't get trapped, and then you can see more of the flower. But this is where I like my sentiments down in this section. All right, so let's do a quick review, because we are over the hour and I try to fit in there. And actually, let me really quickly, I don't want to ruin the cards that I've made today. So let me just wipe that really, really fast. That's how quick it is. Okay, I use alcohol, the 90%, but you can also just use water because they're water-based inks. So we have this one where we stamped. Sorry for the mess here, but we did a lot today. And then we have these two cards as well. And I don't even think you have to have sentiments all the time. You just don't have to. I know a lot of folks are kind of going out that way where, you know, sentiments aren't really necessary on cards for them. And that's great. Whatever works in your space, that, you know, whatever products work in your space, whatever style works in your space, we just want you to craft and have some fun. That's all. So here are the projects that we completed today. So I hope you will give a look at this again, because it's in memory of one of our dear teammates and it's so beautiful. So I hope you will take a peek at that so you can see the beautifulness for yourself. And I will come up here so that I can unfortunately, say goodbye to you guys. But thank you so much for joining me. Make sure to check out that sale because it's like crazy good. It's awesome. Like everything's on sale, it seems. So very exciting to have a sale. And from all of us at Altenew, thank you so much for allowing us to help you craft your life. We'll see you very, very soon. Bye, everyone.